Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves a track by an act named Simon Hirst, titled Dirty Hands. And if we switch over to here, not only do we have the Dirty Hands, I suppose that's the original, we also have an acoustic version listed under as an EP, which makes total sense nowadays. It's good to have, more than one version of your song so that people can hear your flexibility as a musician, as a performer. I've listened to No Turning Back from Simon Hirst before. I really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to having another go with Dirty Hands. So we're going to listen through this track from start to finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Oh, that's fun. I like the tone of those guitars and those little bendy bits going on with the drums. Ooh, okay. This is fun. Fun, man. Okay, this gives me a mid-noughties vibe with a kind of a Nickelback kind of distortion tone to those guitars and that heavy rock groove to it. Sick. Lovely high mid-range chords there. Before we go any further, I gotta shout out the production crew involved with this. The mixing mastering is splendid. It's sensational. It sounds nice and loud, but there's also careful attention paid to the individual instruments and their frequency ranges, the stacking in them in the stereo field, as well as the frequency spectrum, and just, yeah, nice polish to it. Breaking down. We are divided. Did he say we are children without fathers? We are divided. We got dirty hands. We've been corrupted. We're not in a fantastic place at the moment. I love the vocal melodies there from Simon Hirst. How he raises himself with the dirty hands part at the end to mirror what's going on with the chord progression and lead into a transition towards the second half. It sounds effortless. He's a great singer. Shows splendid technique and. It really fits well with the tones going on with those overdriven distorted guitars. I love the call and response that we've got between his heavier guitar parts with these power chords and him with the kind of the snares, the constant 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a tension that is stated there by the different elements, and it's effortlessly looped. It sounds great. We are lonely, we are bitter with our dirty hands. I have to admit, I think I like this one a little bit more than No Turning Back. That's primarily because although I try not to show a bias towards it, I like the rock and metal stuff. I don't like it when it's done poorly or when people try and throw influences of that genre at a concept or a subject that doesn't really make a lot of sense. When we talk about being lonely and bitter, we have dirty hands. That style of music kind of fits well with the subject matter. Sorry, we are children, not our fathers, right? Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm glad I had a second go at understanding that. Oh, backing vocals. Oh. Back to that intro riff on the guitar there. Kind of going between the, is that a unison chord or something like that? And kind of going between that and the flat second. Oh, breakdown, halftime? Okay, I can roll with this. Okay. Solo time. Good choice. Oh, man, I thought we were going to have a bit more there. We're really eager to get back into that chorus, though, aren't we? You know, I get it. I get it. The chorus is dope. It's catchy. It's a really well done hook. I was just wondering if we are going to have a bit more lead in there, you know? But you can see we're trying to get it underneath that 4-minute mark. I think that might have been why, you know? The unspoken rule. Outro time. I wonder where we're going with this. Are we going to have more of the story or just focus on the instrumental elements of the mix? Great tone there. It sounds like they're using a tube amp or something like that. Like, my brain is saying Marshall, like a Marshall stack. I don't know, man. Like I can see Epiphones and SGs and stuff down here, so maybe one of those guitars potentially. But yeah, man, it was great just to have the guitarists fade out there with their without feedbacking, you know, just to have those chords ring out. Shows a sense of dynamic range to it. Because this is effectively the conclusion to the Dirty Hands by Simon Hirst. It was nice to hear another angle of Simon Hirst. I like this heavier stuff from him. He's got a really nice, sweet, clean voice that fits as well as a foil to these distorted guitars and the drums. The drums and the bass were super supportive of him throughout. I liked having I liked how the guitars were panned, and usually I talk about the vocals first, but there's just so much to appreciate. We'll try and we'll do the usual progression with these conclusions. I'll take a moment. So, what I think the song was about, I think the song was about, you know, especially the line about "we are not our fathers." I think it's about we've got dirty hands. We still have some guilt for things that have been done by our ancestors, you know, by previous generations. And a lot of us are divided because of it, because of the feelings we have towards other people, because of the history behind it. I think it's talking about some pretty heavy socio topics that are going on at the moment. I think a lot of the world is divided, and you know, it's easy to just not remember that individuals aren't the summation of the whole, right? But I think that the music, it was poignant, it was well spoken and sung. The guy has great, fantastic vocal technique. All the notes came through nice and clearly. It didn't sound like they were having to stack any plugins on his effects chain. He just sings that well, you know? He didn't need to go any harder than that. It didn't need to be an additional amount of ornamentation or legato or anything like that. It sounded great as it was. And yeah, the story is fine, and it worked really well again with the guitars, drums, and bass. You know, you had occasional drum fills and everything, and there were different sections. There was like there were dedicated instrumental intros and outros. You had the verses, and I think we had a bridge in there, if I'm not mistaken. We definitely had the verse and the chorus. Just sensational songwriting. It's really straightforward in a sense that I can understand what was done and why we approached it. I know I mentioned being kind of a little bit sad that there wasn't an extended guitar solo here, but I also know that, you know, if this focuses more on the story, sometimes you don't really need a guitar solo to come in and be the icing on the cake. Sometimes the tale being told and how it's sung is more than enough. The recording, mixing, and mastering, the production was sensational. You know, working with this kind of music, you really cannot sort of make a half effort of it. You really have to be careful about how you record the instruments, how you pan them, but also how you play the instruments, how you arrange them, you know? We had these lovely harmonies that illustrated a tension and a sense of forcefulness and frustration, but also a realization of what our reality actually was. And I think that was outlined by the driving force of the drums, the bass line being supportive of the root notes, the different guitar parts, not being exorbitant or anything like that, but basically supporting again the story and the production with the EQing, panning, everything like that, especially when the guitar is double tracked. And the backing vocals in the second half of the chorus as well were welcome. Nice additional bit of coloration in mid to high ranges. Yeah, man, no complaints whatsoever, really, with Dirty Hands by Simon Hirst. Nice and loud without being being overbearing or limiting, or kind of gross pulsating sound you can get when stuff's been limited too much. So it kind of sounds like it's breathing. We didn't have it with this. This song sounded like something that you get from like a major label. No complaints with this one. Great job. Great job to Simon Hirst. I'd love to hear him have a dedicated guitar solo section at one point in one of his songs. That's not a complaint. That's more like, yo, I want to hear this guy shred. But thank you very much for watching this review of Simon Hirst's Dirty Hands. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I didn't get to listen to the acoustic version, but you're welcome to do that if you like. Please do go show him some support via his local social medias, via his various social medias and Spotify. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.